Hello students. Today we are going to start with a new topic, that is issue of shares. I will shortly, very in short, I am going to explain you what is share capital. Since you are going to learn this or you have already learnt in your class 11, what do you mean by share capital, how company is formed, you have also studied features of a joint stock company. So I'm not going in that detail. Just to recap you, refresh your knowledge, I'm going to give you a very short story on it. So now see, as you know, when you start with a company, to start company, we need a huge amount. So let's say I need 100 crore of rupees. Now, you know students very well, 100 crore is not a small amount. It's a huge amount and it's very difficult to accumulate this amount among ourselves. Like I mean to say, by borrowing your money from your friends, relatives or from your savings, it's not possible to accumulate this 100 crore. So whenever you plan to start with a company, definitely you will have to collect this capital fund by giving shares. Now what do you mean by shares? See here students, what I am going to do, this 100 crore ka capital which we require, this is 100 crore ka capital, I have drawn a circle. You are going to divide this capital money in many parts. Now each part say is of rupees 10. Now why we are making such small parts? So that even a person from middle class family who is salaried person earning in a bracket of 30 to 50,000 can invest in this company, can become a joint owner of this company and can take a benefit of it. That's the reason we are dividing this 100 crore of capital into small parts, and each part we have decided to keep a value of 10 rupees. Now this part is nothing but shares. Why we are calling it as shares? Because here what you are doing students, you are sharing the capital. Each person who is an applicant, who is applying for shares, is doing nothing but sharing a capital. That's the reason, this is how the word came up, that we call it as each part of capital as shares. Now to have more understanding, let's assume Mr. A, who is having a salary of 50,000 per month and he is saving 10,000 every month. Now he is having a saving of 10,000. He wants to invest in this company. So for how many shares Mr. A should apply? You can find out very easily. For getting the number of shares, what you have to do, simply take the amount, divide it with the face value of the share. What is the amount of saving? 10,000. What is the face value? This we call it as face value students. Each part we have given a value of 10 rupees. This is, we call it as face value, and this face value remains fixed throughout the life of the company. So how many shares he will be applying for? 1000 shares. Very easy calculation. So Mr. A will apply for 1000 shares. Per share he is giving 10 rupees, that makes up amount of 10,000 and he will become a shareholder. Likewise, we have millions and millions of shareholders, and this is how we accumulate a huge amount of capital. This is a very small amount I have considered. Even a big company, there is a company with 12,000 crore of capital. Isn't it possible for every person to collect that money? No, it's not possible. So every company, what they do, they divide their huge capital into small parts, and each part is being shared by the general public. That's the reason we call it as share capital. So this was the basic concept of it. Also student, just understand this part also, that every share have two values. Face value, which is fixed by the company and it will remain same throughout the life of the company, it will never change. The second value which every share have is a market value, which keeps on changing. And you have already heard of stock market, share market. So what is happening there in stock market, share market, students? Every day the shares of the companies are being traded and the price keeps on fluctuating depending upon the demand and supply of the shares. So the market value of the share keeps on changing on daily basis, but the face value remains fixed. Also, student, remember that face value is also called nominal value. So nominal value and face value means same only, which remains fixed, and it is fixed by the company. It will remain fixed throughout the life of the company. And shares also have market value, which is being traded in the share market, and it keeps on fluctuating. So this was the basics of the share. Now coming to our scope of syllabus, students, issue of share is our topic. Here in this topic we are going to learn accounting entries, how to record these transactions related to issue of shares in our books of account. Now we have two groups of entries. The first group is called when the shares are issued for cash. The second group is when the shares are issued for other than cash. So in this group, what is happening, students? Company is giving a share, but in return they are not getting money. So we call it as shares issued for other than cash. And in the first case, when the shares are issued for cash, what is happening, students? Here company is issuing a shares and in return they are getting a money. So here when the shares are issued for cash, these are the two parts, further sub parts, which you have to learn in this topic. Your first part is lump sum. What do you mean by lump sum, students? Lump sum means entire amount of share is collected at a time in one shot payment. Let's take example. Suppose, for example, face value is 10 rupees. So what company have decided to issue shares for cash at lump sum means entire 10 rupees applicant will have to pay at first time only, at the time of application. There are no installments given. Understood? So let's take same example of Mr. A, who was saving 10,000 every month, and he decided to invest in this company. How many shares? 1,000 shares. And he will have to pay 10 rupees face value at a time together at one shot payment. Then this is called lump sum. And in lump sum, you are going to pass two journal entries, which I am going to explain you in my next video. Now, let's see the second part. When the company is issuing shares for cash, but this time company have planned to collect face value in installments. So we have named this installment as application money, allotment money, first call, second call, third call, or you can call it as final call. So this is your last call, final call. I have taken only 5 installments. Why, students? Because in our scope of syllabus, this is the maximum number of installments that we can have in one sum. You open your textbook, you will find this is the maximum installments. There are some also wherein only 3 installments are there. So maximum how much we have in our syllabus? Only 5 installments. So I have named those 5 installments. First is called application money, second is allotment money, third first call, second call, and final call. So when company is planning to take this 10 rupees into installments, then it is a case of second type, that is called installments. Again, students, I am going to cover the entries of this installment in the upcoming videos. So am I clear for cash? Now let's see, have a glance on the second group, other than cash. So here company is giving out a shares, but in return company is not getting any money. What are the cases here? First case, when company is purchasing a business. So when company is purchasing a business, you have to pay a price for it. No one is going to give you business for free. Will you get business for free? No. You have to pay a price for that business. So let's take example. Like suppose L&T company is there, and this L&T company is planning to purchase a business of Reliance. So will Reliance give his business for free? No. L&T company will purchase that business for money. So let's assume the deal between both the company is of 100 crore. I mean to say L&T company is going to take over business of Reliance by giving 100 crore. But what is the plan here, students? L&T company said, I am going to give you this money 100 crore not in the form of cash. I will give you shares. So here what is happening in this example, students? L&T company is purchasing a business, and how money is settled? By giving shares. So this is when shares are issued for purchase of business, and company is not getting any cash over here. So what company is getting in return? A business. So we purchased a business, we received a business, and for that we have given our shares. This is the first case. Second case. What is the second case? For purchase of assets. Now let's take example again to understand this second case. Company purchased a huge machinery. The cost of that machinery is 1 crore. It's a huge machinery, and we are going to purchase it from another country. We are actually importing it, and the cost of that machinery is 1 crore. How company is going to pay for this? Not in cash. Company said, I will pay for this asset by giving shares of 1 crore. So what is happening in this example, students? Company received a machinery of 1 crore and paid this 1 crore not in cash but by giving shares. So this is where the company is giving shares for the purchase of asset. Third case, incorporation cost. Now what do you mean by incorporation cost? It means formation expenses. So this is your actually a formation expense. When company is formed, you have to spend some money. So what promoter? Now the person who forms a company is called promoter. So promoter, what promoter have done? Have spent money to form a company. So let's assume he spent 90 lakhs to form that company. Now once the company got formed, came into existence, promoter will ask for his money. I spent 90 lakhs for you to make you to come to make bring it into existence. Now you are in existence, you are running. Now please pay my money back. So company will have to pay, will have to return that formation expense of 90 lakhs to the promoter of the company. How company is planning to give this 90 lakhs? Not in the form of cash but by giving shares. So what is the transaction here in this example, students? Company is repaying the formation expenses to the promoter in the form of shares. So this is your third case, incorporation cost. Last case, student, is for underwriting commission. Now what do you mean by underwriting commission? It is a commission which is paid to underwriter. Now who is underwriter, student? Underwriter is nothing but a broker. So why we are calling this broker as an underwriter? Because this broker have given a guarantee. What guarantee, students? A guarantee that all the shares which we are going to issue to the general public, I will sell those shares on your behalf. You don't carry the burden or tension to sell those shares. Now who will go for this underwriter for broker? Those companies which do not enjoy goodwill. Let's take example, Reliance company. Now Reliance company is enjoying a very good goodwill. Reliance company will never go for this underwriting thing. Why? Because Reliance is confident that whenever they issue shares, immediately it will be purchased by the public. But what about a new company? Let's give a new name for this, Durga Lakshmi Steel Industry. Now no one of us have heard this company. It's a very new company. Will you purchase share of this new company, Durga Lakshmi Steel Industry? No. So this company will have to go for underwriter. Now these underwriters are brokers in the share market. What they will do, they will push your shares of your company, of Durga Lakshmi Steel Industry. They will push up the shares. Now broker deals with the investor. Whenever investor comes to the broker asking that where to invest that money, broker will say invest in Durga Lakshmi Steel Industry. It's a very good company. You invest in that, your money will get doubled. So this is how they push the shares, and they help the company to sell off all their shares to the general public. But this work is not done for free. What underwriter will ask, what broker will ask? For a commission. And that commission is called underwriting commission. I hope you have understood the concept of underwriter. So who are underwriter? Basically they are broker and taking a guarantee that all the shares will be sold off. And in case if any shares remains unsold, will be taken up by the broker. I mean to say they will have to buy. Let's take example. 1 lakh ka shares is being issued and broker got success in selling 90,000 shares. 10,000 shares remains unsold. Who will take those 10,000 shares? Underwriter himself will have to take up those shares. Am I clear? But taking a guarantee, company will have to pay him underwriting commission. So this underwriting commission is paid to the underwriter, who is basically a broker, for pushing the shares. Now, underwriting commission is an expense for the company. It is to be paid to the broker. So how company have planned to give this underwriting commission? Company have planned to give this commission, underwriting commission, not by way of cash, but by way of giving shares. So company will give shares to the broker, saying that this is your commission. So these are the 4 cases wherein a company will issue shares, but in return they are not going to get money in all the 4 cases. Even this part we are going to deal in the upcoming videos. I hope you have understood the basic concept that we have in this chapter. So this is a bird view, student. This is entire a bird view which you are going to learn in this topic. Thank you, students.